Hey everyone, my name is John Leider, and today I want to talk to you about surviving open source. Share my screen. Okay. Oops. Well, so a little bit about who I am. My name is John Leider, creator of Vuetify. I've been developing Vuetify since 2016, and I have been a full-time maintainer since 2017. And during this times, I learned quite a few lessons. I made a bunch of mistakes that hopefully you can learn from. And we're going to break it down into 4 steps. So first step, success to open source, providing support. Nobody wants to use a piece of software, especially one that is critical to their project, their business, what have you, if they have no capability of getting support, especially from the original author. Even just having it available provides a sense of security for users, especially as the project grows. Personally, I'm speaking from the perspective of a large scope UI library, which has quite a few users, as opposed to maybe a bunch of smaller packages. So this is from that lens. But being able to provide user support, whether it's through GitHub discussions, whether it's through direct live support, through a conference call, whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that you are providing options for people to efficiently ask questions and for you to efficiently answer them. Now, providing support will naturally lead you to the next step. Step 2, build a community. The best thing that you can do is find other developers who like what you do with your software, who like how you conduct yourself as a maintainer or want to get into open source. And the only way to find these people is by bringing developers into your kind of ecosystem to provide them with a place to not only communicate with you, but to connect with other developers who are using your product as well. This is very important because with a community, users are naturally going to connect with each other. They're going to meet people, and as long as you continue to foster this healthy environment with your participation, it's going to, over time, it's going to not only build a larger subset of a community, but people will naturally start to stand out. And those people may end up being individuals who answer questions in GitHub, or maybe those users contribute to actually developing the software. It varies. Everyone has their own professional aspect they want to apply to their contributions. And you can't find that unless you meet people. And the great part about building a community and meeting people is it gets you to the next step. Step 3, listen to smart people. Now, it's actually a little bit longer than that. The phrase is listen to smart people, surround yourself with smart people and listen to them. This is probably one of the best decisions that I have made in my professional career, was dropping my ego at the door and bringing in people that are extremely smart, people that are passionate about the same thing that I'm passionate about, and want to contribute to something bigger than themselves. And in this process, you have to develop a thick skin towards listening to these smart people, because it's very difficult to accept the fact that you're wrong, or accept that your idea might not be the best, or maybe even accepting no for an answer. When you surround yourself with these smart people, if you're not listening to them, there's no purpose to it. They're there to provide guidance, to fill in the gaps where you can't. And as a project grows, they will become even more pivotal as the role shifts, which if you are in a large project, it will shift away from as much development work to more providing an overall vision and kind of the glue to pull all of these talented developers together to create something useful for others. And the last part, step 4, which this I guess kind of coincides with the previous one, but there are some specific details that I'd like to highlight. And it's about being a leader. A leader is someone who sets the example, someone who does the right thing when no one's looking, takes responsibility for their actions, for the actions of, their subordinates and people under them. They hold the people around them up high so that they can and revel in the success of their accomplishments working in open source, and be kind of a role model that someone that people can look to think, no matter what, everything fails, I know that I can come to this person and they can take care of me. Being a leader is also about staying organized. It's about understanding a bigger picture, being able to adapt and adjust yourself to how things may change over time. And this level, having a good level of organization, a great work ethic, being humble and understanding that you're not anything without the people that are supporting you, and that your job is to be not only a leader to those individuals and help provide them with a path for professional growth in their contribution to open source, but also making sure that you are always kind of being that example to people to look forward to be able to get things done. Because at the end of the day, if there's no organization, if there's no one taking charge, if there's no one being the leader, then it's very difficult for projects to move forward. And if you want to be full-time open source, your project has to move forward. So that was it, quick and to the point. Thank you very much for inviting me to talk at Upstream. Again, my name is John Leider. If you want to follow me on social media, at @0skills on Twitter or at Vuetify.js on Twitter. You can find Vuetify at vuetifyjs.com. And if you'd like to come and chat with me in the Discord community, we have a dedicated server for Vuetify. And that concludes everything in my talk. I'm here to answer any available questions. Thank you.